We are in the garden.
We are here in the Dan's garden.
We're in the garden, and we are in 4K. People who are listening don't know anything about that, but if you're watching, which you should be watching, we are in 4K. High camera quality.
Yeah.
Because our friend who owns this expensive camera is currently on vacation. So he broke into his house. We beat up his family and stole the camera. So now we can be in 4K.
Yeah, the weird thing was the camera was at a different house. We just beat up his family. We didn't even need to beat up his family.
We realized afterwards, they were like, oh no, he already gave us the camera.
Yeah, this wasn't even his camera.
Oh, fuck.
In any case, it's in 4K, so you can see us in all of our debauchery in 4K. And if you're just listening, you are listening to us in 4K. I don't know if that changes anything about your experience
but
whatsoever.
If there's any audio issues, you can still blame Alessio, because that's a through line we keep going.
Shout out Alessio. Literally shout at him. Damn it, Alessio.
I am happy to be here recording this podcast again because we've had a bit of a break because I've been in Italy and you've been James.
In Tralee. I've been James in Tralee.
You've been in Tralee.
We've been seeing the world. We've been seeing different cultures and learning much more about the world in Tralee.
How was Tralee?
It was okay. Saw the Rose at Tralee. Not the festival, but like just was in town for it. There's like fireworks. There's a bunch of women who identified as
Didn't
flowers.
know that in Tralee.
Yeah, no kidding. That was.
I have a good joke for you.
What is it?
Tralee.
We're just gonna sit in that one all together, ladies and gentlemen.
Italy.
Italy in Tralee.
I was in Italy, huh?
I was there Italy last weekend.
My favorite Stephen King book.
No, it was good. I was seeing the girlfriend's family and stuff like that, and it was a good time and everything. But fucking pales in comparison to Italy. What was that like?
It was nice. Yeah, I saw the Colosseum. It was a big arena thing where they used to fight each other to death. They used to throw a couple of Christians in there and then put some lions on them. It's good crack.
They should bring it back.
Yeah, well, they did it then.
They would hate me. I just go through my hair. They'd just see me with my hair and just be like, get him!
Oh, no, I probably wouldn't hate you because they'd be like, Canada? What the fuck? There's a different part of the world?
Look at that poor bastard just getting sunburned.
Why does he speak such a weird language?
Hey there, where do I get a nice good pizza there, bud? Any good ice hockey here? I would pay to see an ice hockey game at the Coliseum, though.
It was nice, and I saw a lot of art. I saw the original David statue, the big guy with a small willy.
Nice, yeah.
I saw Circus Maximus.
Which one is? Oh, that's the racetrack.
The racetrack.
Yeah? Oh man, that's so cool.
It's cool because it's like completely like destroyed. You know, it's been burnt down like a million times. But just when I went this new because they've been opened where they gave you like a VR headset as you walked in. You put on the VR headset and then you see the whole Circus Maximus as it looked back in the day in VR as you walk through it.
Bro, that's so cool. Man.
That was very sick. That's probably the highlight. So shout out to the Circus Maximus VR experience.
Jesus, and was there a race like actually going on?
Yeah, you could see like a race. You see people die.
They were because they were pretty violent.
Yeah.
Like some of those races, they were like the chariots had like spikes on the side, and the goal was to like fucking etch them.
I think that's Ben-Hur.
Ben-Hur, just
the porn version of Ben 10. Ben 10 dicks in my mouth.
Just goes the He goes with the Omnimatrix and just becomes a slut.
You know, he has like the clock.
Yeah.
If your name's on the clock.
Yeah.
Time for the cock. But there was a VR race where the guy crashed and him and all his horses died. That was pretty cool.
Gnarly. They weren't pulling any punches. Was there like a PG and then like a rated R version of it, or were like kids just getting?
No, there was no kids there in general in Italy.
They don't allow them there.
No kids. But there was also went in Venice. I went to a thing called the Leonardo Da Vinci Museum. That was my other highlight. If I talk about my highlights, that was very cool because it was like a normal museum at the bottom. Had like a few Da Vinci sketches and like his original tools he would cut up corpses with and shit. Pretty cool. But then you go upstairs and there was like 6 rooms where they rebuilt, you know, like all his machines and weird invention he sketched out, but he barely ever built them. He just kind of planned them out.
Oh, bro, that's so cool.
Yeah,
though.
they built them all in real size, like life-size models, and it was interactive, so you could just go up to any of his machines, like pull the lever, spin the wheel.
And were you saying the big one that I remember is the tank? You were saying like that was a part of it as well.
All there. Everything he ever made was there. There was the catapult, the tank. He had a artillery cannon, like a mortar cannon. The shit that we have like now that he came up with, but he just never made them. He just like planned them out. And they rebuilt everything in life-size models, and you could just go and You know, I mean, normal museum, you're like, no touchy, but they were like, yeah, go touchy touch. It was so much fun.
That's so cool,
It
man.
was so much fun, man.
There's a part of me that thinks like, you know, I'd want to go there twice. I want to go there sober and then once on like shrooms or some sort of like just to really take me there or something like that, you know, just to really like appreciate it. Because, you know, when you're in that headspace, you're like, you had a bike.
Bike made out of wood, yeah. It was just a bike.
I like how back then it's just kind of like, Jesus, there's no horse involved. Jesus Christ. It's just 4 guys pedaling or something like that.
Yeah, you couldn't get on the bike, but you could like spin the pedals and it would move. It's pretty cool.
Fucking A, man.
Pretty cool. Shout out Leonardo Da Vinci, man.
We got to get him on the pod sometime.
Yeah, my favorite gay man. Did you know he was gay?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. No,
do you know about the Freud thing?
Not the Freud thing. What's that?
People were like debating whether he was gay for a long time, and Sigmund Freud, because he's a weird guy, was like, I got this. And he wrote like a 600-page book only about how Da Vinci was gay. Very obsessed.
Yeah.
He wrote a 600-page book being like, I'm going to lay out every single gay thing in his art and convince you that
Sigmund Freud is one to talk, though. Man, that guy is one of the gayest people.
He's not gay. He's just a cokehead.
No, he's closeted gay as well.
He's brat.
No, he's closeted gay as fuck.
Sigmund Freud is brat, dude.
I guarantee. Who's brat? What does that mean?
You know Brat Summer?
Brat Girl Summer.
Yeah, Brat Summer, where they're like the whole brat thing, where brats are like party girls like doing cocaine. That's Sigmund Freud. Sigmund Freud is brat. Sigmund Freud is brat, dude. That's like smartest take.
I'm telling you, he's gay. Like I was.
No, he's brat. No. Don't stop distracting me from my genius thought here. He's brat because he was addicted to cocaine. He came out with daddy issues, which all the brat girls, they love calling men daddy. Sigmund Freud gets stronger every day they do that. And he loves cocaine, so he's brat. He would listen to Charlie XCX if he was alive, Sigmund Freud.
All I'm gonna say,
he would.
All I'm gonna say is that I read Carl Jung's autobiography, and he literally has been quoted saying stuff like, just like, he was giving me weird vibes. I think he really wanted to get with me and stuff like that. And I was just thinking, nah, not for me. He was giving, now maybe that was a cocaine. Sometimes the cocaine gives like interesting vibes and everything.
Carl Jung's weird as well. They're all weird.
Carl Jung's weird, but
weird.
Carl Jung's weird, but he's not weird. He's asexual.
Yeah.
He's just in his thought, just thinking about different personalities in his own head or something like that.
I love Sigmund Freud though, man. I was I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
He's such a weird guy.
I read his book, The Interpretation of Dreams.
I never read a single one of his books.
I read The Interpretation of Dreams, and I think one of my favorite takeaways with that, this is more of a critique of it, but the big thing is like, he was so full of himself. He would think that like every time I interpret someone's dreams, it's just like, yeah, this is me cutting to the root of their personality or something like that. But anytime he couldn't figure out someone's dreams, his get out of jail free card was just like, well, your dream is to show me up during my own therapy session. And it's just like, just admit that it's a weird dream.
Well, he's been
just own
proven wrong in like all his theories, hasn't he? Like everything he's ever done.
He was a trendsetter. He fucking blew the lid off.
I don't care about that at all. I don't care about his work. He's just a weird guy. That's why I like him.
I'm with you there.
He's a weird cokehead. And I also watched his epic rap battle against Mother Teresa, and he killed that. So
murder. Yeah, he did really good there.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
he did really good. Well, I respect someone who can spit some good bars, you know, and surely he can.
The cocaine would help with that.
Yeah.
To be fair, the cocaine would sincerely help with that.
An exception to my theory. I can't believe this. Here we have a mother that nobody wants to sleep with.
All right. Yeah. To be fair, yeah, that was a good bar. That is a good
well
bar.
done, Sigmund. That was the actual Sigmund Freud.
Good man. That was actually from his quotes.
He just hated Mother Teresa.
Oh my God, repressed. It's just calling her out for. I gotta rewatch that one, man. That sounds like a fucking good battle.
It's a strong one. But
Leonardo da Vinci was also gay, though. There was one case, like I read a biography.
Let's get back to Leonardo da Vinci.
I read a biography about his there, and there is a confirmed case where he was caught having sex with a guy back in those days. Honestly, yeah.
That phrasing.
There's a confirmed, just because it was back in those days, like the 1500s, it was like illegal, punishable.
Ladies and gentlemen, we caught one.
We got one. To catch a gay. To catch a pedophile, just gay.
Leonardo da Vinci. He's awesome, though.
He was. And one thing I love was like Leonardo da Vinci's rivalry with Michelangelo, because the theory is that Michelangelo, I think it was him anyway, he was deeply repressed. He was that guy who drew who made every sculpture super masculine, like muscular, even if they were a woman.
Yeah, but he
hated Leonardo because Leonardo was like an openly gay man, and he like just
Leonardo
despised
wasn't open.
that. He was pretty open. He's pretty flamboyant.
But it's still not confirmed that he's gay. It's just a theory to this point. It's a pretty believed theory, but it's still not confirmed.
All right.
He never admitted it.
He
never admitted it. Now, I looked this up when I was in Italy. It's a very strong theory. It's so strong that Sigmund Freud went, I'm going to write a 600-page book about how gay this man is.
So which is it? Sigmund Freud is right about him, or is right about him and Mother Teresa? I'm starting to think he didn't even battle Mother Teresa.
No. Now you're getting off topic. I love Michelangelo as well, though. I learned a lot about him. He's pretty fucking sick. Do you know that he the first big job he got, a rich guy from Venice, because Michelangelo didn't grow up rich. Like all the other artists, like Leonardo da Vinci and Raphael and Donatello, they all grew up super rich.
Yeah,
that's how they got into it. But Michelangelo grew up like middle class. He still grew up like wealthy enough. His dad owned like a mine where they're mining marble, you know. But it was still.
And he was like an apprentice sculptor and like worked his way up through there.
No. The story is well crazy. He used to be. His dad used to own a marble mine, so he had a bit of money. But owning a mine was still considered like not upper class. You know, you consider a working class person back then. But he became an apprentice to a very like well-renowned sculptor. But he was just an apprentice. He was just one of the many students. But the thing that broke him into like fame and success was that a rich guy from Venice was like, "Hey, I'm trying to do some art deals, and I want to sell a ancient Roman statue. But if you throw a bit of dirt on it, you make it look like we investigated it, we found it like this. I can get a lot more money. So could you just fake it, make it look like it was actually from the Romans?"
Nice.
So he went back and he made one, and he sold it to like one of the richest families, was like a cardinal or like some big wig in the church, really rich guy. And he gets the statue, and within like a week, he figures out this shit is fake. This is not real, but it's so impressively fake, and it looks so much like the Roman architecture that he goes up to the guy who sold him the fake. He's like, "Hey, I could like get you drawn and tortured and killed, but just give me the name of the guy who made this. Tell me who made this shit." And that's how Michelangelo got his first big job, because then he got hired to do loads of statues.
It's kind of like Catch Me If You Can. Like, he's so good, like, you got to work for us type of thing.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is. It's pretty awesome. And the first few statues he made, his client actually hated because they were too good. He didn't want them to look so lifelike.
That's like, well, what do you want? Your 2D, it's your 2D sort of like just like canopy sort of painting or something like that. Like, oh god,
he's pretty cool. I like Michelangelo the most out of all of those, because he was the one who had like the undeniable talent. You know, everybody's like, "Oh yeah, this guy is next level."
I don't know. I've only learned a bit about Leonardo, but Leonardo had a similar story there, where like he was an apprentice painter, and then basically what happened those days, like they'd make reprints. They'd have like their apprentices make reprints of their famous paintings.
Yeah.
And then Leonardo's reprints of his master's sort of painting was like way better, to the point where that guy just like recoiled and just like became super depressed. And it was like, who the fuck is that guy?
What I mean though is that those guys, they were all like born into rich families. They were all born to that life.
Yeah, exactly.
Michelangelo rose to the top because he was so undeniable, you know. That people look at his stuff and he's like, "No, he's as good as us." Yeah. Doesn't matter that his dad only owns one mine.
Back in those days, yeah.
What a pleb, only owns one mine. He's mining what, marble?
Oh my god. No, he's pretty cool. Doesn't even
have a single position in the Catholic Church.
Oh my god.
That is cool.
That's cool.
Michelangelo's a cool guy.
Nice, man. No. So was that the big one? Did you learn about the other two big ones? The other two Ninja Turtles?
Yeah, I saw Raphael's corpse.
What?
Yeah, his corpse is in the Roman pantheon. They just have his corpse there. You can just go look at it. That's pretty cool.
I guess, but it's also kind of gnarly. Like,
It's cool. He wanted it, and you don't learn much about Donatello, because Donatello was he had the least public persona.
Fair.
Donatello was just the hardest work out of all of them. He made like the most statues, but he wasn't living the fame life as much.
He was like Banksy.
Yeah, Banksy.
Banksy. I always fuck that up. I always fuck those up.
It's the easiest name ever. It's like bank with a C.
Banksy.
Banksy.
I always fuck it up because I only ever read it, and then I was just like, oh shit. But no, fair enough. Donatello sounds like
the Ninja
like
Turtles.
Yeah. I do like that. That is pretty cool.
Also, great epic rap battle.
Who they go with? The Ninja Turtles versus the Power Rangers.
No, the Ninja Turtles go against the Renaissance artists. Raphael, Donatello, Michelangelo.
That is a good battle.
Da Vinci, Leonardo versus Leonardo, Da Vinci, Raphael.
That is pretty cool. However, I would also like to see a rap battle between the Ninja Turtles versus Power Rangers. That would be a good one.
No, Power Rangers need to go up against someone else.
Who would the Power Rangers go up against?
Need to go up against
Power Rangers need to go up against
battle. Power Rangers versus G.I. Joe, Barbie.
I was gonna say I was gonna say Dragon Ball Z, but that'd be a fucking that'd be a wipe.
They did Son Goku versus
Power Rangers versus
Superman.
Pokemon.
No, they already did Charles Darwin versus Pokemon.
Or did they?
Yeah.
Jesus, man, I'm learning. Who would have thought after your whole trip, like you're teaching me about like Italian history and whatnot? I'm learning more about epic rap battles of history than I am actually like this beautiful culture.
Shout out Epic Rap Battles of History.
Shout out.
Best YouTube channel ever. But
it is
getting
cool.
a bit off topic. We do have a topic today.
Yeah.
We want to talk about reality TV
Yeah, in 4K.
in 4K because we have a nice camera, so we thought we'd talk about something camera-based.
Yeah.
So
And you brought this topic up because you said you were watching some reality TV nowadays. What show are you watching?
I've been watching a bit of Survivor. I've always watched Survivor. I love Survivor. You ever watched that?
A few episodes here and there type of thing. Never
Survivor's
like dedicated or anything.
I gotta sit you down and watch the season of Survivor with you sometime. You'll love it. It's actually very, very fun.
Nice.
It's the basic principle is that these like normal people get put on a beach in an island and they have to like build camp and survive and stuff. But that's not really what it's about anymore. When it first started, that was like the thing. Ooh, they have to survive in the camp. That illusion is gone. Everybody knows they get food given to them and shit. Doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's about every day they have to vote someone out, kind of like Big Brother style. But in Survivor, it's a lot more hardcore because they don't have individual rooms or anything. They're just stuck together all day.
Yeah.
So there's like these 7 people, usually a tribe is like 7, 8 to 10 people. They're stuck together all day and they have to kind of scheme to get rid of one of them. The entire time, and it just becomes very sneaky and backstabbing.
That's not even about like survival or fire starting
it's
anymore.
about
At that point,
nature.
yeah, it's literally about just conniving.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
Just Machiavellian at this point.
Awesome.
Oh my
I also
god.
went to his house.
Yeah, Machiavelli.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been so cool, man.
Machiavelli. This house is now a residential area, which is a bit disappointing.
Jesus Christ. He wrote the book The Prince based on Cesare Borgia, who became the villain in Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. And but he was actually like a major dickhead, and he wrote that book beforehand, trying to like as like a sort of like, oh, I'm gonna this is a book for you, talking about how you're gonna be an amazing prince and everything like that. And then his whole family got taken down. It was kind of like if you were to sort of like just throw all your chips towards Donald Trump right before he got arrested.
I actually disagree with that a bit. I think he's a bit misunderstood.
What, the Prince or Cesare Borgia?
No, Machiavelli. I think people think he wrote
the book was actually, he cites Cesare Borgia in the book. Like,
yeah,
it's
but
about him.
No, people, no, that's not what I'm saying.
It was supposed to be a gift to him.
That's not what I'm saying. He's misunderstood. He's misunderstood because it was actually a gift to the Medici person, not him. Wasn't it? It was a gift to a Medici prince who took over Florence.
Potentially, I might have missed that up, but he does cite Cesare Borgia.
Yeah,
so I was thinking
I know he cites.
I think you're right. I think it was the Medici.
He gave it to Medici prince, but people misunderstand it. But I don't think he wrote it to give the guy advice. I think because Machiavelli was like a huge defender of republican democracies. Like he spent his whole life fighting for democracies and republican voting systems and keeping Florence a republic in the style of the Romans. I think he wrote that book because he wanted to show this prince, like, because everybody who's in a royal family, they would already learn the stuff through their education. If you're part of a royal family in those times, you learn like, hey, you have to rule through fear. You have to suppress.
I imagine it would be spotty though, because like,
let me get to my point real quick.
Sure, yeah.
What I mean is that he wrote this book and gave it to the Medici guy to kind of be like, hey, I see right through you.
Ooh.
I know exactly this is how you guys operate. This is how kings and princes and people like that operate. And I know the tricks.
Interesting.
And I can publish this and tell everybody how you guys operate. I think that's how it was meant.
But to what
end, I don't think
though?
it was meant as a piece of... Because he hates kings. Machiavelli hates power-grabbing dictators. That's something that's often misrepresented. He wrote a whole book called... I forget, it's called like the Laurel Dialogues or something.
Okay.
Where he spends the whole book arguing why a singular dictatorship is inferior to a democracy. The whole book.
Okay. Oh, and I wasn't familiar with that sort of interpretation. I was thinking that it was like the prince was a sort of like CV. It was kind of just being like, listen, like, because he like they were shopping around, like he wanted to be like, hey, listen, this is how I can contribute to the family. I didn't realize it was kind of like something of a hit piece or something like that, or just like talking shit, like calling him other shit.
It's like a historical realization. A lot of historians believe that it's this way nowadays because his other book was published, and in the book he basically says that he believes the Roman Republic was the greatest state system of all time at his time. And he literally says in his other book that when he goes to sleep, this is how much of a nerd he was, right? He was a nerd. He would go to sleep and he would dream of himself in the Roman Senate talking to the senators about how to do the politics.
Wow.
He hates democracies and he hates dictators, and he writes how much he hates like Caesar and Augustus and people like that. So I'm pretty sure he wrote that book just to be like, hey, I know you guys' ruthless tactics. I know how much of a dick you guys are when you rule. Just so you know, I'm aware, and I'm a threat. Like I can do something about this. I think that's how it was meant. I think it was more meant as like satire than genuinely straight-faced advice.
Well, that kind of backfired because now all the most malicious political leaders in the world read that book like, oh, this is how I fuck people over? Like every single conniving politician in the world since then
Yeah.
has read that book
Not even
on
that
how to
book
fuck people
anymore.
over.
I think he'd be so annoyed because the word Machiavellian has come
Yes,
to mean that. I think he'd be really annoyed if he found out
Machiavellian
about that.
describes what you just said
Yeah.
about Survivor. Just like, how do you connive and get these people off and
I
stuff like
think-
that. And he's like, what are you talking
I think
about?
Machiavelli would be super annoyed.
Yeah.
It's super annoyed. It'd be like if you became a famous comedian and then you write a book about how to steal a joke as a joke. You're like, oh, I write this book about how to steal a joke as satire.
Yeah.
And then every time someone steals a joke, everybody's like, that's very surgeon.
Yeah. Oh, we got a surgeoner in the house.
I think Machiavelli would be fucking hanging himself if you found out what his name means.
Yeah,
now.
that's what I mean. Like I said, that's the ultimate joke at the end of it, where it's just kind of like, oh man, like the exact thing he wanted to fight against is exactly what he's kind of known for.
Yeah, and that's also like fact. Like the prince, the interpretation, that's more of a theory, but the fact that Machiavelli hates dictators and was a big fan of like democracies and senates, not democracies, but republican senates, because democracies didn't really exist like that then, you know, but like
Yeah.
the Roman republican system, that's a fact.
Yeah.
And the fact that that's how he wanted the country run, that's a fact. So I think that he would shoot himself right in the head.
Yeah.
He came back now.
Yeah.
He would read up about Trump for 2 minutes and see his name mentioned to describe Trump, and he'd be like, ah,
Gee. Say no more. I've seen enough here.
I failed.
Oh my god. Yeah, that is a bit of that. History is a fucking brutal bitch like that.
It is.
So going back around to
Reality
TV though, I think
I think what we could take away from this Machiavelli tangent is that we like TV shows, reality shows that are
well,
bit,
there has to be a conniving
bit
element.
Machiavellian in
There has to be a conniving element where you have to be able to scheme and do like false plotting and stuff like that. Like the most recent reality TV show I saw the whole way through was a show on Netflix called Surviving Paradise. It actually fucked me up because you just see people so transparently false to each other, where they're just kind of like, there's this one person on there who is just like, all right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna build up a bit of a coalition. I'm gonna talk to them. I'm gonna make sure I have a heart to heart with them. And it's like, who says shit like that outside of like a sincere psychopath?
Yeah.
And there was one time where they were doing like crocodile tears. They're like, I don't want to go back out to the wilderness and everything like that. And this one girl just called her out, and she's just kind of like, I don't believe your tears right now. And the fucking mask came off for a bit. She's like, how fucking dare you say that and everything?
Yeah.
It was like, it didn't help that I was on DMT at the time, but the experience was like, it was just so blatantly just like two-faced and conniving. Like it really fucked me up for like a day. I was just like, oh shit, like
I agree. I think it needs a bit of Machiavellianism in it. That's why I like
Absolutely.
Survivor. Let me tell you why I love Survivor real quick, all right? Where we talk about reality TV. The reason I love Survivor and I love that show, this is like my biggest guilty pleasure. I've watched like about 17 seasons of Survivor all the way through.
Attaboy.
And every once in a while I watch the newest season. And the reason I love it is because all these people, and overall they get pretty sound people on. They're all nice people. They're all like working, normal, middle class people, right? And these people just turn into fucking psychopaths, into career-thinking psychopaths.
Yeah.
Because at the end, they get $1 million. That's what they get if they win.
And
so
to be
willing
fair,
to do anything.
And it's so easy to be like, oh, you're so two-faced and everything like that. It's like, all right, you put yourself in your shoes there. It's like, I'm sure I'd become a bit conniving, you know, for $1 million. Like, I'd dabble in it. I probably wouldn't be good at it, but I'd
been
dabble.
around for, I think it's at season 48 now.
Shit.
So it's been around for nearly 50 years, right? And it's gotten to a point.
That's insane,
Yeah.
actually.
It's gotten
Jesus.
to a point where people, they're over that. The whole like two-facing, they're completely over that. If you're not good at making alliances and betraying and sneaking around, you're shit.
Mm.
You're shit at the game.
Oh,
That's how people look at it now. And Survivor
kinda
has
like-
gotten to a point where, like, if you want to be good at the game, you have to be good at like sneaking around a little bit. Otherwise, you're not good.
It's
You
kinda-
can't be honest.
It's kind of like the opening scene of Hunger Game, where like all the children just get murdered immediately. Like,
Yeah,
all right,
yeah.
you're dead weight, you're useless. They just get murdered immediately. And you know what? That's life though, and that's kind of like the
Yeah.
connivingness of it, you know. All right, so reality TV. What do we like about it though? Do we like that we're actually like putting people in the situations where like they're challenged, they're not like their normal selves because of the situation,
yeah, that's
you know?
true. They have to be in a challenged situation.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can't
so-
just put them in a house.
All right, so what we're
Because
gonna
Big
try to
Brother's
do,
lame.
I'm assuming, is try to come up with our own reality TV show.
Yeah.
That would be cool
That's the concept of the podcast. Welcome to the show.
for the listeners, anyway. In 4K, there might be some new listeners who are just being like, "Oh, a 4K podcast! Wow, I have no idea. They have no idea what we're doing."
The title of the podcast is? We don't even put
We're
Matt
in
and James
4K.
around. It's just 4K podcast.
You know what? Mark my words. I think we should do that. This one's in 4K. Dan and James,
podcast.
Dan and James, give it a go. This one's in 4K.
Dan and James in 4K.
why not? Dan and James give it a go in 4K.
In 4K.
Yeah. So
well, we need a new situation. Like Survivor, the idea was originally
take wilderness out of it.
They live in an island, right? That was the original idea. So we need something like that, something that's out there.
Yeah, but how like
put them all in a tree house?
How would we modernize? Loser gets pushed off the fucking tree house. They actually die.
You put a noose around their neck and you kick them off.
Jesus. Pretty sure this is just fucking homicide at this point. I think they already got that in like North Korea at this point.
James, that's 7 votes. James is the next person to be lynched.
Oh, I just had an idea though. What if like it was an island off the coast of like North Korea? So it's like it's not too far off. You could swim there, but like losers have to swim to North Korea.
I think that's a crime.
No. We're off the side of it. We're just enough in international waters. Like I don't know. We'll have to go to get a lawyer to do.
What would be kind of funny though would be having like I don't know what the location is yet, but having like two groups of people like tribes, kind of like Survivor, stuck somewhere, and you just arbitrarily point to someone you randomly select, like you are the leader now. You have complete power, and see how long, like Lord of the Flies kind of shit.
Yeah, I think so. But just like whether they're ready for it or not, like they are the leader.
Someone randomly, you are the leader now. Like the producers do, and then the rest of the tribe has to either play along or
connive against them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm liking this. So what is the context then? I think in the theme of Italy, I'm half tempted to pick like an Italian castle or something like that.
I was thinking castle there as well.
You know what I mean?
Castle might be good.
And then this might be a bit too broadly speaking, but I'm thinking like, all right, so they have to find a leader, but then what if there's just like, I don't know, on day 30, there's like an army taking over, and they have to have their shit together under siege.
That's it. Because we can't have battles. That can't happen.
Yeah.
So the whole concept is that they have to live in a castle under siege. There's no food coming in.
Yeah,
no one
that's it, man.
or out.
The army's already there, and it's like we need to figure out who the fuck is going to get us through this shit.
Yeah.
And they have to survive like 30 days before the Rohirrim.
And every week they have to vote somebody out.
They just fucking push him off the island.
They just out you go, out the castle.
Oh, and then an X factor would be as well. It's like, what if like there's one betrayer, like one person in there who's like anointed, like that's kind of like that works for the besiegers and stuff like that, and his job is to open the gates.
Oh, you're talking about Traitors now. That's already a show.
That's an interesting sort of like X factor.
There's a show called Traitors. I think it's a Netflix original, which is kind of like it's like Traitors is like Among Us. You ever play that?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like one traitor. And everybody has to figure out how that.
Fair enough. Well,
that could be like a twist. So you know how reality shows they always have like twists. Like Survivor is very common.
Well,
that
different
round.
What if it's like what if it's kind of like Werewolf, where it's just kind of like week by week, whatever. There's different rounds, so it's not like there's one traitor throughout the whole week. But like this week, you're the traitor, and you have to figure out some stuff. And then if you do the traitoring successfully, you get like a side prize.
We'd have to figure it out. You get a side prize, and whatever you do to betray the people. First of all, I like Under Siege.
Yeah, that's a great name.
That's good.
I think that's the whole crux of it.
Is they have to be in a medieval castle
and they have to be in the garb, so like everyone's wearing the medieval stuff and everything like that.
There's
which
no food coming
up.
in and out. There's a storage that's there, but there's nothing new coming in and out.
If there's a gardener or something like that, like they can start growing shit.
Yeah,
like
but only in the castle walls. You cannot leave.
If they want protein, they can murder someone.
The second you leave, like we obviously can't shoot people with arrows, but the second someone leaves the castle grounds, they're dead. Like, not really dead, but they're out the game. Like, it's over. You lost the game.
Exactly, yeah.
You have to stay in the castle. And that's how we could make it. Once a week, someone gets banished from the castle, and everybody votes who gets banished.
All right, and one quick question here. What's the scale we're looking at here? We're looking at 10 people? Are we looking like 100 people, different groups?
I'd say 3 castles, or two or 3 castles, and this is just because...
I still think one castle, but, like, what about different teams, like different towers?
This is... Okay, maybe. But this is just how I... Ooh.
Could you sell out a different tower, like... I don't know how that's going to work with the besiegers or something like that. But just be like, all right, take that.
I like Survivor, right? In Survivor, how they do it is they have 2 or 3 tribes on different beaches. And then as soon as all of those tribes are whittled down to like 4 or 5 people, they have a thing called the merge, where all these tribes merge together into one.
Yeah, okay.
And that's what I think would be cool if we had all of these people in different castles or different parts of the same castle even. And as soon as they're whittled down, they merge into one team. And then all the previous alliances and all the previous friendships, all of that is meaningless. Because suddenly there's like 10 new people you've never met before that are now also conniving to win.
Yeah, and they have to be into it. So so in a perfect world, we'd have a castle like 3 different sections. And then like,
What about, oh my God.
You know what I mean?
I have a good idea.
What?
What about we have one team that's the Royals. They're like the high class families. So we have one team that is like the servants.
I mean, I like that in theory, but who's getting who? Unless the royals are like really sound, they're getting murdered immediately.
Yeah, but then we could also give the
immediately.
royals slightly better resources to compensate.
Yeah, so like if they were smart about it, they can dish it out and curry favor. I like that. I like the hierarchy and
that's what I like, because the second the siege hits, none of those class boundaries matter anymore because everybody's fucked together.
And then we'll make the royals place like really luxurious, like proper modern day king size beds, all that stuff. So it's really nice. They can and like good food and everything like that. They get all the best equipment. They get more time to rest.
And I'd say for the beginning, for the first few rounds, only the servants are allowed to vote out servants, and the royals are only allowed to vote out royals. But then they merge, and suddenly everybody's on the same playing field. Yeah. And then all the servants are gonna keep sticking together, and the royals, they might not be as loyal.
That's the thing. That
royal might not be as loyal. I got the tagline.
These thrones ain't loyal.
These thrones ain't loyal.
Oh man, I do like that a lot, absolutely, and I like that as well because it's like there's not like you think to yourself, okay, the royals are totally gonna get bodied here, but if they're good royals, they're gonna survive it because like they'll be able to kind of like, all right, we're gonna get through this together, share some resources, stuff like that.
I know I can read. What is that by the way? It doesn't mean 30.
That's a 30.
Is that 30?
I think so.
Lads, this
in
means
4K.
30. This means 30 and not I want 3 dicks in my anus.
Well, it could mean that too. But it could mean that too. It depends on where you land on that. But no, I think that I like that a lot. And all right, so let's say this goes on for a month to 2 to 3 months. I think what are some of the challenges we'd get them to do? I think
challenge is a good idea. I think we should actually like there's another thing I like to steal from Survivor because I think Survivor is like the greatest reality TV show ever made. The concept is so genius. Like in Survivor, the two tribes, when they're not merged yet, right? They will go up against each other. And this is why I get you to watch it. You like it because it's very physical.
Nice.
There's a physicality involved. They have to do these physical challenges against each other, like run a parkour or solve puzzles. And whichever tribe wins gets like food, or they get like nice beds for the night. And that's something we could do is where the servants and the royals have to do challenges against each other. And the winner gets a nice reward, like a little side reward. Like here's a roast chicken for all of you.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there. And then I think that
you get prostitutes.
Well, no, I think one thing
you get royals, the servants get prostitutes, and the royals get a bunch of kids to fuck.
That's what we call an X Factor, ladies and gentlemen, which is a different TV show altogether.
That's a different reality TV show at all.
How is that show not about having sex with kids? I don't know.
No one needs to sing on our show.
X Factor. There's a singing component. No. But and I think in the going with the theme
we could
of
have
like
a bard. We could have a bard.
Oh, 100%. His job is to keep the fucking spirits up. But I think some of the spirits would, some of the competitions would also be about like maybe, I don't know how they depict this, but a simulation. Oh, we're under attack now. So defenders on the wall. So this could be like just like, the physical aspect.
Yeah.
So some people fight off the attackers and some people have to like bring up bows and arrows and shit like that.
We couldn't have actual battles, but what we could have, and that is really creative. This could be really creative, is that we have challenges, physical challenges that are inspired by being under siege. So I like that. So, for example, we could have a challenge who can load up and fire off the most catapults.
Yeah, exactly.
There's the royals against the servants. And we could even, this is how we could make it fair, because people would be saying, oh, of course, the royals are going to win everything because they have the nicer beds. But if we try and make it accurate, historically accurate, the servants would all be bulky guys.
Yeah.
Used to be. So we get, the people we cast for servants would be, bodybuilders, gym people, construction workers. But the people we cast for the royals would be, Steve from IT.
But here's the flip side of that as well. The royals have to have some sort of benefit so they can give gold, and who knows, maybe that's actually how about this? The royals start off with let's say
the royals have loads of benefits. They have nice beds and food.
No, let's start off with this. What if it's legitimately they start off with 10K each, $10,000 or 10,000 euros or whatever, but they're but if they're not big enough to do the catapults, they can pay the warriors, a different party, to do that.
No, I'm actually thinking the catapult loading thing would be a physical challenge where servants would be going up against royals.
Yeah.
So whoever loads up more catapults wins and gets the reward.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, we obviously put some strong people in the royals as well, but the way we should
That's what I mean, though. If we can't just have all the royals just be scrawny little people. They got to be, and I like the idea that they can use their wealth to kind of overcome the obstacles.
Try and think about what is a modern royal, right? So a modern royal could be a scrawny tech bro, but it could also be an Andrew Tate style alpha man entrepreneur,
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the servants is a construction worker from New Jersey. So that's how I mean. That's how we cast it. Like
Yeah.
the royals will be like upper class people, and the servants will be like working class people.
I actually like that element.
Yeah.
I like the idea where it's like the role you inhibit in the castle is
Based on your life.
actually based on your
Yeah,
life.
yeah, that's a great
I
idea.
like that
Great
a
idea.
lot. That brings a lot of realism to it, and it takes a lot of like the what if factor. It's like, oh, what if this tradesman from Rhode Island was the king? It's like, no, you'd be a warrior or a servant or whatnot,
Yeah.
you know. But then it's like but then you actually have like a tech bro that's the king and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And I do like that because we'd be able to see that play out in real time.
Bro.
No, sincerely,
That's
like
such a good idea.
like I would like to see that play out in real time.
Yeah.
Like, let's see how they handle as king. Like if they're in the real world element, take the distance away from technology.
And it makes it different in Survivor as well, because in Survivor the two tribes never interact. But in this, the servants of the royals would live in the same
They
building.
can't be too rich though, because then what sort of fucking rich person would want to do a competition like this?
Oh, dude, you're talking
They
about.
can't be too
Dude,
rich.
you're talking about national TV.
No one watches TV anymore, Dan.
I have to get you to watch the season so you understand. There is like professional, successful Hollywood screenwriters on Survivor. There's a guy on Survivor who's like the most successful rugby player in the world, who still went on and did Survivor. People do these reality TV shows just
for the
because
fuck of
it's
it.
fun.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
That's why they do it.
I'm with that. So what would that guy be like? That'd be like a warrior king if he got like the
Yeah.
best rugby player of all
Well,
time.
we can give him
No,
roles as well, but I think at first
I think there should be like 3 clans. There should be like, the royals, the warriors, because like they're in a castle, and then like the servants.
I
you know?
actually feel like we can keep it 2, because we can keep the knights with the royals, and we can give the militia
Knights with the royals, yeah,
and
then
the
the
militia and
yeah.
infantry with
Men
the
at arms.
servants.
Men at arms would be the other one.
But in a,
I have a question as well, though.
it's-
Are we just doing men or are women in it as well?
Oh yeah, of course. But in the actual individual roles, I don't know matter that much. It just more matters if you're a servant or a royal.
Mhm.
That's the most important thing. You're either a servant or a royal, and you go up in competitions. And at some point, as the merge, the siege has gotten so bad where everything is falling apart. Now everybody sleeps and lives together.
Yeah, that's it. The royals are in the same bunks as there.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. The scenario would be like a catapult. hit their
destroyed.
Yeah, their tower's destroyed, and they gotta sleep in the dirt with there.
This is building up great.
I
man.
love that.
I like this.
Yeah, and then the whole point is to survive 30, 60 days or whatever until like reinforcements arrive
Well,
and the siege
until
is
there's
lifted.
one winner. We need to have a winner.
True. Or a winning team. Because it's not like one person's going to be in the castle. Like,
Survivor-
yeah, I did it, you know?
In Survivor, they have
We're
like.
talking about a siege here, though.
Yeah, but just as an example of how it works in Survivor, right? In Survivor, the way it works is, and this is not like genuinely, I think Survivor is one of the most genius concepts for TV show ever. This is like so brilliant. Is that everybody after the merge, when both merge together and both tribes have merged, and there's like 12 people left, everybody you vote out goes onto a jury, right? They go into a hotel offside of the island, they chill, and they watch the rest of the games on the camera feed. And then at the very end of the game, then there's 3 people left. All those 3 people go in front of the jury, so they're in front of like 10 people. They're all betrayed and voted out. Like these 10 people, they're backstabbed. And they'll have to pitch to those 3 people that they're all betrayed who should win the €1 million, and those, they vote on the winner.
I like that idea. So what if it's like,
We have to just adapt
so
it to what we're doing.
I like the idea of like just the premise of a siege and stuff like that. So like there's like reinforcements coming that breaks the siege. That's in my head what they're fighting until.
Logically, that would make sense.
So whoever gets voted off, they're the reinforcements or they're the relief army.
Whoever votes out just gets banished.
I suppose, yeah. Or
But they could be-
or literally murdered.
But they could be part of the reinforcement
Actually
after they
murdered.
get banished.
That's what I mean. They come
Yeah,
as a reinforcement.
They're right in like the fucking
Yeah.
like fucking Gandalf.
Yeah, that's it. And literally, like I'm picturing the ride of the Rohirrim. Like
Is
just
that
like,
what they call the
yeah,
Rohirrim?
the Rohirrim. Yeah, the Rohirrim just comes in and just lifts the siege. But the thing is, since they're the ones with the big army, they have the final say on the end of it. So it's not so much where you stand at the end of the siege. It's like how you got there.
So we say 3. Maybe we could even to be different. So 4 people are left at the end. That's when the siege gets broken.
Something like that. Yeah.
That's I like it. I like it. That's
Bro,
good.
that's a sick idea, man.
Yeah, I think.
Is there any
it's pretty strong.
producers listening? This is
Under
4K. This is 4K.
Under siege, royals versus servants.
Bro, one of these days, like one of these premises is gonna get picked up. Like that's actually a great fucking idea.
I have to get you to watch Survivor because they will give you so much inspiration for ideas like this.
And what's your favorite thing you've ever seen on Survivor?
Yeah, I was just about to tell you. There's a guy called Tony Vlachos, right? Tony Vlachos is the best thing to ever happen to reality TV. He's a New York. He might even be New Jersey. He's like a fucking super New York cop.
Okay.
And he's like the sort of cop that has beaten up kids for smoking cannabis before. He's like a bit of an asshole, right?
Okay.
But he comes into Survivor and he's like, I really want to win this. So what he ends up doing is he ends up digging out these little bunkers all over the island, like little spy positions, where he like one by the water well, one by the spot where people gather firewood, one by the beach, and he builds these little tree houses and bunkers. So so he can hide out of sight and listen into people's conversations.
What? Oh,
And
that's such like deep cover shit.
They just keep showing him. They keep showing him, like, he will listen to a conversation there, and they'll talk about a plan, and then they show footage of him just fucking sprinting over to the other bunker, and he's like a short, stocky, fat man, but he's fucking running.
That's awesome.
Jumping into the next hiding spot. It's so funny, dude.
Bro, that little, like, he's like a squirrel of a man by the way you describe him, just scurrying around. Just
There's so
fucking-
many. It's all about the characters. You have to get the right. That's what we have to do as well. We have to get the right cast, because you have to find the people that make it engaging. You know, like it only makes good TV if there's a good dynamic between the people on it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And in that note as well, I think after this we'll talk about the dynamic we want to have, but
Yeah.
on that note of like interesting moments, like I saw this one bit. I haven't seen the whole thing, but I saw the live action Squid Games thing they did on Netflix. So not the TV show, but they actually
Mr.
recreated.
Beast.
I think it was actually on Netflix. Like, they
Oh,
did it.
really?
Yeah, and
Jesus.
it might have been Mr. Beast one, but no, I think it was Netflix. But the thing, what happened was, is
He's
like
a pedophile now.
apparently he's
Did you
pedophile.
hear about that?
He's pedophile adjacent.
What is
apparently.
loads of shit going on?
Yeah.
Well, he's like a really evil person.
Yeah, I know, man.
I like how upset you are. Did you not expect that?
Well, because like, you know, I like to believe it's like David Dobrik for a little while there, and then he fucking murdered his friend, more or less.
I
paralyzed
love
his
how
friend.
you're sitting there like, but I ate his burger, and it
did.
was decent.
I did. Oh, it's like Bill Cosby all over again. It's like, no, not him. Like,
But you
come
never
on.
ate Bill Cosby's burger.
No, that's true. He never made a burger.
Mr. Beast can be one of our royals.
He
Jimmy.
could be like involved in the church, you know.
Yeah.
He fit right in there.
Did you hear the interview with the former employee? This is very off topic, but I just wanna, it's topical, so we should talk about it.
Yeah.
Did you hear the former employee, the interview that came out?
I did actually. I saw it on Philip DeFranco. So yeah,
Dude,
I'm
I
all
think
about
it's so funny. It actually made me laugh out loud in a really bad way.
it. Yeah,
because I love how he
I
was
was about
like,
to say, like, laugh at what?
he was out.
Yeah.
They were really shitty to him. They were being assholes to him. He was out.
Right.
He
yeah,
was
'cause-
like, I'm gonna find a normal job. He was doing stand-up comedy. Actually, the poor fucking guy. He was doing stand-up comedy. He was out. And then he gets a call for the Mr. Beast guys to do one more video. And the video concept they have is, hey, we just want to lock you into a solitary confinement for
I saw
80
that.
days.
I saw that.
And
yeah.
he's like, I guess I'll try it one more time.
Yeah.
I was
And-
like, why is that the one idea you're getting back for?
And I saw that as well, where he's just kind of like, they're like, they never turned the lights off, and he's just kind of like found out after. It's like, oh
Geneva
wow,
Convention.
yeah, they went against the Geneva Conventions.
I
and all
find
that.
that makes me think they're so dumb, because why would you get a person who already hates you, who's
because
quit
they
your
hated him. Because they hated him.
who quit
probably.
your company once they get out, and you're like, we have one more. It's like a fucking heist movie. We have one more score, but this time we're gonna subject you to inhuman torture.
So what's the heist?
And afterwards, you get a yacht.
It's not so much a heist, so much it is just absolute torture. We're gonna,
Survive Guantanamo Bay, and you get to keep it.
we're gonna subject this guy to waterboarding for 80 days straight.
Waterboarding?
For 80 days straight.
If you survive waterboarding, you get to keep the cloth.
Yeah. You get to keep the water. You get,
Maybe that we should throw our entire
it's not water.
idea
It's
out.
not water. It's prime.
Yeah,
It's prime. Yeah.
We should throw our entire idea out and just do instead of that, do as a reality TV show that is just bad
All right,
Mr.
so
Beast challenges.
All right, Under Siege is like the one that actually has a
That's
merit.
serious
Let's do a wacky one.
No, we should just do bad Mr. Beast challenges as well. So like Mr. Beast challenge is like, if you survive getting shot 5 times, you get to keep the pistol.
This here is our friend Chekhov. He's a former KGB interrogator. If you survive 25 hours with him, you get $25,000. Yes. So,
No, you get to keep the investigator.
you
Because
gotta
that's always
keep
his
it.
challenge. His challenge is always like, survive in the house and you get to keep it. You know, that's always his challenge. So you get to keep the KGB investigator.
Yeah, you gotta keep him. He's just yours now. you just have Chekhov or whatever the fuck his name is. He's like, yeah, this is my pet investigator.
If you survive your girlfriend cheating on you 15 times, you get to keep depression.
I mean, one real one I can see him do is like, you know, survive in a Ferrari for 80 days, and if you stay in there, you get to keep the Ferrari. That Ferrari is going to be full of shit. It's going to be full of poop. Just legitimately, like, what are you going to do with it? Is it going to be going through drive-thrus exclusively, shitting in the bag and just tossing it out?
And then I could see
Mr. Beast, that's actually one that I'm signing up for right now.
I can see the thumbnail already, because you know how like the thumbnail was Mr. Beast with a red circle on it. It's Mr. Beast like shitting, squatting down, shitting like this. There's a big red circle around him.
But he's shitting on a Ferrari.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Mr.
Survive
Beast,
5 days in Auschwitz and you get to keep it.
you gotta keep Auschwitz. Survive 5 days in Donbass and you get to keep it. you get to keep a region in Ukraine. You get to keep Donbass.
Oh my God, I love if he did like an IIA version. Survive 5 days in the 6 counties and you get to keep him.
That would be so easy to do.
That'd be easy.
Yeah, you just...
Survive for 5 days in Belfast. Have you been to Belfast?
He died after 4 days. He doesn't get to keep it.
Oh my God, that could be disarm the car bomb, keep the counties.
Disarm the car bomb, keep the car.
Oh, that sounds like a real video. That's a bit too close.
Yeah.
Disarm the car bomb, just keep the car.
All right, blowing it up. All right, blowing it up a little bit. All right, I got you there.
The thumbnail is Mr. Beast in a balaclava. Huh?
Yeah. He has to lift it up a little.
Huh?
He's like, shh, don't tell it's me. Mr. Beast now sponsors the IRA.
Today we're here in Belfast. With me I have Carl and Chandler, and we're blowing up a car. But if they disarm it, they get to keep it.
They have
I don't know why he sounds like Jerry Seinfeld, but
yeah, I was about to say, Mr. Jerry Seinfeld.
What's the deal with homeless people? Why don't I just give him money?
You survive with this homeless person for 25 days, you get to keep him.
What's the deal with my friend being a pedophile?
What's the deal with me being a pedophile? Oh my God. All right. All right. One to take all the money. And it's got to be a crossover with KSI and Logan Paul.
If you survive... Oh my God, no, that's too fucked up.
You survive in this Japanese graveyard?
I was going to say, if you survive 5 minutes with KSI, you get to keep him.
Yeah.
Mr. Beast is bringing back slavery.
That's more of a... But to be fair, have you seen his videos? That's more of a threat than a reward. Like, I wouldn't want to keep him around.
I don't know. KSI is probably pretty chill. I think if I had to hang out with either KSI, Logan Paul, or Mr. Beast, I'm pretty sure KSI would be the best time.
I'm with you there. Yeah, absolutely.
He seems like he's like a nerdy sports guy. He's like a nerdy guy who's into football. Like, I know loads of those guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know a ton of those.
And I do
Logan
like it.
Paul is just a cokehead.
Yeah, I do
and
like
Mr.
it.
Beast is like the fakest man you ever met.
Yeah, I know. It's like, I'm not gonna lie. He has Crohn's disease as well. I was thinking like, oh shit, there's a lot of like.
You love Jimmy?
I was just hoping like I legitimately was like I feel so let down anytime like some of those people come out with these terrible stories. I legitimately am like hoping like, oh man, please be sound. It doesn't come out like, oh fuck.
If
no.
you don't shit
There's
yourself,
no one to believe in, you know.
If you don't shit yourself for 2 days, you get to keep the
Pants?
colon.
You get to keep the pants.
The colon, the pants.
The ileum. That's the part of your.
You get half your colon put back in.
All right, what would be a Crohn's challenge? That's a fun one.
We've gotten so off topic, but I Mr. Beast is topical. It's fine.
Yeah, absolutely. And he does reality TV and stuff like that. He does those island challenges and stuff like that.
He has a reality TV show on Amazon.
I mean, he tried to tell us as well. He's just kind of like, look at this island. You get to keep it. It's like, where'd you get that island?
He bought it off a guy for €1, apparently.
Yeah, for very cheap, actually.
No way he bought it off a guy. But anyways.
No one was buying that off of Jeffrey Epstein after what happened there. Survive 1 week on Epstein's island. You get to keep it.
Survive 1 day with my best friend and you get to fuck her.
Oh my God. Yeah, that was a wild story as well, actually, where she was just kind of like, she was like more or less grooming this poor guy, and it's like, oh man, wild.
From what I gather is that there was a Discord server with Mr. Beast, all of his closest friends, and like 20, 30 fans, and they would just share like hardcore pornography in this Discord. That was like the real story, what it boiled down to.
Which number one, if you're Mr. Beast and you're leaving it at that, that's still pretty dodgy.
Yeah, that's weird. That is weird.
And people on the group chat are underage, so it's just kind of like, all right, why are you involved in that at all?
Even like giving him all the good faith and being really charitable. If he didn't know people were underage, if I was in a group chat with you and like Saeed and Jack and Chris and David and all our best comedy friends, and everybody started sharing hardcore pornography, I would be like, lads, what the fuck is what is going on?
Well, funnily enough, we already have a group chat like that, but we knew you'd be like this, so we didn't invite you in. We knew you'd be weird about it.
5 days with Dan, and you get to fuck him in the ass.
Yeah, I'd bow out immediately. I'd be like, I'm good.
I love how this has turned into Mr. Beast tangent, but we should probably bring it back to Under Siege before we wrap up. Because every time we do this, I like to do a little summary of what we come up with. Right?
Yeah,
Our reality TV show, it's let's say 20 contestants. They're in a castle under siege.
I think 30 because like 3 different teams. So 3 in parts
of
of
2 teams.
No,
Why?
because 3.
But
Because of the rule of 3 in 4K.
But I think 2 is better TV because you could have the knights can just be in with the royals and the infantry and man-at-arms.
And then there's going to be like the serfs and the man-at-arms and everything like that.
Yeah.
And then then there's a monastery where there's Mr. Beast, there's Bill Cosby. That part we can't air. We
survive 5 days in the Catholic Church as a young virgin child, and you get to keep him.
He gets to keep the cross.
Get to keep it. I think though we should have, let's say 30, so 15 serfs. 15 royals.
I think it's 20 serfs, 10 royals, because like the numbers have to be a bit balanced. You can't have like 15 royal families, and 15.
Nah, I think it's actually fun to make a movie because at the end of the day, this is a fucking fictional reality TV show.
But we have to take this seriously, Dan.
Like
how is networking a TV? You're blowing our 4K opportunity here. No, all right. Well, all right. 30 people, whatever the fuck.
I don't care. Fuck the numbers. There's 2 teams.
All right.
2 teams of whatever numbers James thinks are okay, and there's 1.
10 and 20.
There's 200 serfs and 5 royals.
Thank you.
Yeah. So there's 2 teams. There's the serfs and the royals. The serfs are working class people from the real world. They're construction workers, plumbers, electricians.
And I gotta say, I love that element where like we actually go for their actual job.
Oh, we have to watch. We watching Survivor because that is in that show as well. Nice. But anyways,
okay, cool.
Anyways, they have the working class people in the serfs, and the royals are people from the higher echelons of life. It's like kids of famous people, because they'd be easy to get. They're always looking for fucking screen time. So kids of famous people, tech entrepreneurs, Andrew Tate, fucking crypto investor types, that sort of thing. And they have to do physical challenges against each other every fucking day. They have to banish someone. And this is how we do it, because this is how every show does it. Whoever loses the challenge, whoever wins the challenge gets a reward, right? So you win the catapult loading challenge, for example, you get roast chicken for everybody. But the team who loses has to banish one of their own.
Yeah, okay, so it whittles down.
Yeah, so there's like a fucking intensity to having to win, otherwise you would lose someone. So the losing team is to banish someone of their own ranks until there's not enough people left, so they merge together. They have to live in the same quarters. The royal tower gets blown up by a catapult strike. Mm-hmm. And everybody has to move into the serfs' quarters.
So if it's like a 30-day competition, that happens on like day 23 to 25.
Yeah, it happens on like day 20.
3 to 25?
No, it happens on like day 20.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll just go fuck myself.
Yeah. Survive 20 days and then no. Anyways.
Actually, I want 35 people. We're just gonna lose this whole concept on the nitty
gritty.
On the nitpits, yeah.
I said 15 people and I'm not.
How is there gonna be 15 royals and 15 soldiers?
No, there's going to be 7.5
you know
royals.
What? I'm done. I'm done.
7.5.
You're not gonna take this seriously.
You know what, James? I have an ultimatum for you because I'm fed up with this.
You know what? Fuck Machiavelli and fuck you too.
This is the last thing I say. If you survive 45 minutes in a podcast with me, you get to keep it.
I think I won that. I think it's mine now. That was easy. Anyhow, welcome to James Gives It a Go, starting next week with my guest Dan in perpetuity.
I'm sorry. So they have to banish someone after every last challenge until they merge. The tower gets blown up. They're now in the same quarters, the servants and the royals. Very spicy. And they still have to do challenges. But this time, it's only individual challenges. There'll be one winner. And the one winner who wins every challenge, he can't be banished. He's immune. He's safely to the next round. But the rest of them still have to vote someone out every week until there's 4 people left. When there's 4 people left, the reinforcements are right in. Big twist. Big surprise. With the reinforcements are all the people that previously banished.
Yeah,
they took up arms and joined the reinforcements. So now it's up to the reinforcements to crown the new king.
Yeah.
Out of the 4 survivors that are left, and the king takes home the $1 million prize.
Yeah.
Boom.
That's fucking sick. Yeah, that's a good
And
program.
that's basically just Survivor in a castle. But that's fine. We're not
Is that actually
yeah,
it?
it's basically Survivor.
Is
in a
that how
castle.
it comes at the end? Like the
Exactly.
survivors pick the last one?
Yeah.
Oh, well, fuck then. All right,
That's fine. We can do Survivor in a castle.
You know what, Survivor?
Dude,
if it ain't
dude,
broke, don't fix it.
Dude, yeah, Survivor was invented by a Swedish guy in 1980s. Hello. We'll just be like 5 more minutes there. You're good. It was invented by a Swedish guy in the 1980s, right? And ever since he invented that, that's been the blueprint for every single reality TV show. So they've all just copied Survivor.
I've seen a number of reality TV shows, and they all follow a similar format. It's like
Where it's from.
It's like the Simpsons thing, where it's like
Yeah.
Simpsons did it. It's like kind of like Survivors did it. You know, it's the
Yeah.
similar thing where it's like they did such a good job the first time. It's like fuck yeah.
There was one
got
really mad Swedish guy who was like, how about we make people hate each other? There was one mad Swedish guy, one very crazy Swedish guy who was like, if you survive 30 days on an island,
yeah.
you get to keep it.
And Mr. Beast was like, I'm listening.
But now that's Under Siege. That's the show we came up with a little Mr. Beast tangent. That was very fun. And I think that's our episode done.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
No, honestly. So, producers, you find our contact information in the notes below. Somewhere, I'm assuming. Just reach out to me on Instagram.
James, I have to wrap this up because I have a gig in about 40 minutes that I'm way more excited about than I am about this podcast.
Yeah, and I gotta go because I don't want to be here. Because I want to go. No, that sounds good. So thanks very much, everybody, for tuning in to us in 4K.
Well, what I would say, James, before we wrap this up is I would say if you want to record your podcast in 4K definition, all you have to do
is give it a go.
Under
Siege, look it up.
If you give it a go for 5 days, you get to keep it.